Neuvillette is here, and of course I am a very excited boy because honestly, everything that I've seen with Neuvillette and from the trial that I tried out, he's just really good. I am really enjoying it. I think honestly, Neuvillette has been the funnest trial in a long time. I've done that trial like 6 or 7 times because my Neuvillette isn't built entirely yet. It's a hard climb to the top, y'all. But Neuvillette is actually a character that I think I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect build for, and today we're actually going to be talking about how to build him, not only to get him from level 1 to level 90, but of course how to actually build him. This is the Neuvillette build guide. Now if you guys like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. Of course guys, I am always going to shill out gamer subs, gluten-free, keto-friendly, low-calorie, fantastic, has your vitamins, has your wonderful things that are going to make your body feel really good with no jitters and no crashing. Use the code down below for 10% off with code Tystra. Obviously very excited to be a part of their partnership program. Love them. They're one of my favorite people in the world. But anyways, without any further delay and enough shilling from me, let's go ahead and get into how to ascend your Neuvillette. Neuvillette is actually a Hydro Catalyst user, as you can see right here, and of course we're going to talk about how you ascend him first. First things first, you have your Varunata Lazurite Silvers, your Varunata Lazurite Fragments. Fragments are first. Varunata Lazurite Chunks, and of course the Varunata Lazurite Gemstones. Now you can fight Oceanid, the Hydro Hypostasis, and of course the Hydro version of the Primogems shape, though it is kind of random, so you don't go from there. Now, of course, this is going to be somewhat of an easy one, but also not. And the reason being is because there's going to be a boss mat that he's going to need, and you're going to have to probably fight double the bosses to get exactly what you want. But before we get that, you're going to need 1 of these silvers. You're going to need 9 of these fragments. You're going to need 9 of the chunks, and of course 6 of the gemstones. And of course, always remember the rules of 3. 3 silvers make a fragment, 3 fragments make a chunk, and 3 chunks make a gemstone. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, of course, we got the new boss mat, which is the Fountaine Unicorn, which you actually get from fighting the Millennial Pearl Seahorse. Now, I just call it the Electro Unicorn, but I digress. I'm not here to judge what you call them. The only issue with this is that, of course, it's going to drop Electro, like stuff. So you're not going to get your Hydro stuff here. So you're going to have to fight Oceanid or another boss, or you could transmog these into the actual Varunata Lazurite counterparts. So you're going to need 46 of these Fountaine Unicorns. So you're going to be probably fighting this boss at most 23 times if you only get 2 per, clear. But of course you could also fight it at the least amount of 16. But I've never had that, luckily, or not luckily, unluckily. That would have been great to only fight a boss 16 times. Now, of course, you're going to need Lumentoil. Now, Lumentoil is the new Fountaine exclusive item that you find in the overworld. And you're going to need 168 of these. So be careful to make sure that you get all 79 that are currently out. I highly recommend that you use the Genshin Interactive map. And about 2 to 3 worlds, you'll be able to get it. Now, if you have friends that haven't pulled for Neuvillette and they don't care about you taking their stuff, that's great. I don't have that right now because every one of my friends wanted Neuvillette, and I'm pretty sad, so I have to wait. Of course, you're also going to need these I always mess this one up. Transoceanic Pearl. Transoceanic, that's what it was. You're going to need transoceanic pearls, you're going to need the transoceanic chunks, and of course the xenochromatic crystals. Now, how many of these are you going to need? Now, that's very crucial because it's a little bit tougher. You're going to need 18 of these transoceanic pearls, you're going to need 30 of the transoceanic chunks, and of course, with the xenochromatic crystal, sorry, I'm very tired, you're gonna need 36 of them, right? I'm very tired all the time, y'all. I have to record this right after I get out of work. But yeah, remember your rules of 3. Your transoceanic pearls are going to need 3 of those to get the chunk, and then 3 of the chunks will make the crystal. Now let's go ahead and scroll down, and let's go ahead and talk about triple crowning. Now, if you're going to triple crown your Neuvillette, you're going to need a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. First things first, you're going to need the equity, teachings, guides, and philosophies. Now, these are going to be a little bit hard to farm. You're going to need 9 of the teachings. You're going to need 63 of the guides. And of course, for the philosophies, you're going to need 114. Remember, again, your rules of 3. 3 teachings make a guide, 3 guides make a philosophy. And then, of course, we're going to go back to finding these pearls again because we love to torture ourselves. Am I right, y'all? You're going to need 18 more of these transoceanic pearls. You're going to need 66 of the transoceanic chunks. And you're going to need 93 of the xenochromatic crystals. Yay, more farming. It just happens. It's what we got to do, y'all. Now, of course, you're also going to need other items alongside this. You're going to need these Ever Ambers. These Ever Ambers are actually going to drop from the Apep boss. Now, of course, you can't see the picture, but you understand what I'm talking about. Apep came out in Sumeru, so be ready. You're going to need a grand total of 18 of these Ever Ambers. Now, with Apep, you're going to be able to get like 2 to 3 of his mats every run, and you can only really get rewards from the run every week. So it's going to be a tough challenge if you haven't been farming Apep every week. Now, I make sure to get every single one of the weekly bosses done every week, and I highly suggest that you do the same in case a, member of, the original cast actually gets a buff like Fischl, which Fischl seems to get a buff every single continent, but that's it. And then, of course, you're going to need 3 of these Crowns of Insights, which is pretty normal. And a grand total for Mora, you're going to need about 7.1 million Mora to not only ascend Neuvillette from level 1 to level 90, but also to make sure that you get the Triple Crown. Now, of course, you don't have to Triple Crown Neuvillette. We're actually going to talk a little bit about what you're going to need for him. So first things first, let's go ahead, get into the game. Now, I'm going to go into the actual trial, and the reason being is because my Neuvillette is not done. I have actually had a very, very bad time trying to get my Neuvillette ready to go, and I feel really bad. So we're gonna go over a few things and some stuff that I found out about Neuvillette that's great. Now, of course, Neuvillette is a main DPS, or at least that's what I've been able to kind of find with this character. Honestly, he freaking slaps, and we'll actually see what he could do here just a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about what you need for, kind of building him up, right? So first things first, let's talk about weapons. This new weapon, the Tome of the Eternal Flow, is his best in-slot weapon. We kind of already know this. HP is increased by 16% when current HP increases or decreases. Charge attack damage will be increased by 14% for 4 seconds with a max of 3 stacks, which means that you could go up to 42% extra damage, which is fantastic. And his main damage output is going to be from a charge attack, so it makes the absolute most sense to be able to have something that'll kind of capitalize with that. This can be triggered. This can be triggered once every 0.3 seconds when the character has 3 stacks or the third stack's duration refreshes. 8 energy will be restored, which is great because you want to make sure that you capitalize on energy recharge with them as well. Now, other weapons that you can use. Lost Prayer of Sacred Wind. Very good weapon to use, especially since you're going to be getting a little bit of a boost in crit rate. That's who I currently have, or that's what I currently have on until I can get my Tome of the Eternal Flow. Now, there's other 5 stars that you could use. Kagura's Verity from, when Himeko releases a very good one, so you could use that. When it comes to 4 stars, Sacrificial Jade, a very, very strong option. Prototype Amber, a lot of people have been saying like, yes, that's the free-to-play option. I'm definitely not going to say otherwise. So if you're getting your Prototype Ambers, use them. Great option. Now, let's go ahead and talk about artifacts really quick, all right? So this artifact set, the Maruchase Hunter. This is his best in slot, artifact set. So 2-piece, normal and charge attack damage increased by 15%. He's going to be charge attacking a lot, so it makes the most sense. 4-piece, when current HP increases or decreases, crit rate will be increased by 12% for 5 seconds. Sorry, I'm just so tired, y'all. Up to 3 stacks, which means that you're getting an extra 36 crit rate. That's pretty pog. Pretty pog indeed. So Don't worry about going too hard in your crit rate, in my personal opinion, so long as you're making sure that you're using Neuvillette to increase and decrease your HP. Now, of course, you could use other options. You have a 2-piece HP set, which could be one of the new sets from the previous update. I can't remember the name of it, to be all honest. Or you could use a 2-piece Tenacity alongside, you know, possibly another piece of, another 2-piece in that regard. Honestly, you could probably just do 2-piece HP sets with the Tenacity in the previous one that I was talking about. I can't remember the name of it, to be honest. I'm actually looking at a guide right now and it doesn't even say the name, which kind of sucks. My guide sucks on this, but I digress. The other set that would make the most sense is a 4-piece Heart of Depth, because obviously Neuvillette's a Hydro character, Hydro damage bonus, perfection. But yeah, that's what I would say. But honestly, this new set, the Maruchase Hunter, and also Golden Trope, and this is just a generalized, I'm not saying put Golden Trope on Neuvillette, but those sets are absolutely insane. They're so good, and they work for so many characters. Honestly, so many characters are going to be revamped because of these sets, and I might honestly redo a lot of other 4-star characters. Now, of course, when we're talking about artifacts, you want to focus on the stats: crit rate, crit damage, HP percentage, and energy recharge. Those are your big ones. Now, we know that the flower and the feather are going to be HP and attack flat, but when it comes to your sands, you want to run HP percentage. You want to make sure that you have a hydro damage goblet, or if you're feeling pretty frisky, you can go for an HP percentage goblet. It's up to you. It works both ways, to be quite honest. And then, of course, crit rate or crit damage, circlet, whatever comes to mind and works for your fancy. So you could do that. But make sure that your main stats are crit, HP percentage, and of course, energy recharge. Now, let's go ahead and talk about talents here. This is crucial. Because he's a catalyst user, he has, you know, obviously just a regular cane, but he's doing all that damage with his, you know, hands. But let's talk about his charge attack, and this is why a lot of users love him, because one, he kind of has that reference to Dragon Ball Z with Goku being a dragon of sorts in this sense, and then of course firing his own Kamehameha. But this is actually the charge attack Empowerment Legal Evaluation. While charging up, Neuvillette will gather the power of water, forming it into a seal of arbitration. In this state, Neuvillette can move and change facing and also absorb any source water droplets in the certain AoE. Every droplet he absorbs will increase the formation speed of the seal and will heal Neuvillette. And while its charging is stopped, if the symbol is yet to be formed, then a charge attack will be unleashed. If it has been formed, then a charge attack Equitable Judgment will be unleashed. Now, that's pretty freaking crazy. Let's talk about the actual full-blown charge attack. Unleashes Surging Torrents, dealing continuous AoE hydro damage to all enemies in a straight line area in front of him. This is why he is such a crazy AoE damager. And it just goes to show how good he can be, and we'll show that absolutely. If Neuvillette's HP is above 50%, he will continuously lose HP while using this attack. So yeah, you're going to be losing HP. Now, party members that you can form really well with Neuvillette to make sure that his HP doesn't go below that threshold, you can continuously do that attack. Characters like Kokomi, Kuki Shinobu, Barbara even can actually help out in that regard, but I wouldn't suggest it. It's mainly anybody that can continuously heal as he's going at a fast rate. You could even put him with a Bennett, but the only downside is that the Bennett heal will not help you fast enough comparatively to somebody else like a Kokomi or like a Kuki Shinobu who's going to heal pretty quickly. But he's going to do really, really well. Oh, tears I shall repay. Summons a raging waterfall that will deal AoE hydro damage to opponents in front of Neuvillette based on his max HP. After hitting an opponent, the skill will generate 3 water source droplets near the opponent. These water source droplets you're going to need to go into your charge attack. That's why his charge attack is so dang important. If you get the Fuma, at certain intervals while the Raging Waterfall descends, a Spirit Breath Thorn will descend and will pierce the enemies, dealing Fuma aligned hydro damage. And that's the skill. Now let's go ahead and talk about the burst. The burst O Tides I have returned unleashes waves that will deal AoE hydro damage based on Neuvillette's max HP. After a short interview, 2 waterfalls will descend and deal hydro damage in a somewhat smaller AoE and will generate 6 water source droplets within an area in front. Again, water source droplets taking a huge center stage. Ascension passive 1, Heir to the Ancient Seas Authority. When a party member triggers Vaporize, Frozen, Electrocharge, Bloom, Hydrosaur, or a Hydrocrystallization reaction on opponents, 1 stack of past Dragonic Glories will be granted to Neuvillette for 30 seconds, max 3 stacks. Past Draconic Glories causes Charge Attack, Equitable Judgment to deal 110, 125, and 160% based on the original damage. These stacks of past Dragonic Glories created by such kind of an elemental reaction exist independently, which I think that means that each stack can be formed from different stuff. Now, of course, here's the second Ascension passive. For each 1% of Neuvillette's current HP greater than 30% of the max HP, he will gain a 0.6% hydro damage bonus. A maximum bonus of 30% can be obtained in this way, which is pretty dope. It's really cool. Now, this team right here, as you can see, we have a Sucrose, Fischl, and Yao Yao, and that's because they wanted to show you the little reactions that happen. But honestly, for teams, you could run Neuvillette with Beidou, Kazuha, Kuki, Shinobu, you know, Fischl being another one because Fischl got a massive buff. You could run with Layla for shield, Raiden Shogun to help out with, you know, giving that little bit of a hit on top of what you're doing with his normal attack or charge attack for that matter. Venti, you could use Zhongli. It seems like he's pretty universal. Honestly, I would try him in a Hyper Bloom team because I think that might be really cool. With Yao Yao, you don't really get that option too much, just because the fact that Yao Yao's Dendro application isn't that great, but I digress. Let's go ahead and actually show what he can do here. Now, the main goal is first off, getting everything set up for your reactions, right? Get that going. So I didn't get the second Sucrose thing, but that's fine. So we're gonna do this, activate the E, and then go into charge. And look at this. Oh my god, this is insane. And that's without continuous healing going on. You activate burst, get everything going again. You can gather everybody up. Boom. And then activate it again. And you're just clearing the field, bro. So we're gonna go ahead, go into this. Get the healing going. There we go. Activate burst, and then one last time, activate charge attack. That is just bonkers. It's so crazy to me. You could just do so much. And you don't even, like, that's the thing too. Let me go ahead and do this one more time. So you don't even have to hold down your charge as you're doing it, right? So let's go ahead and activate this real quick. Get more water droplets, right? So let's say, watch this. I'm not doing anything. It does it for me. I just have to move. And then you go back into it. Boom, 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 boom. It's just rapid fire. You go back, you got more water droplets. See how it takes a little bit longer with that, but you could still activate it and just go nuts. Go back into it, boom. Absorb your water droplets. Look at that. He literally just makes it way too fun. And then you absorb more, boom. Oh my gosh. He is just so much fun, and that's what I really like about Neuvillette. He just seems like a fun character and overpowered as all hell. I'm excited to build mine because I want mine to surpass this one, go even further beyond. Yes, I made a Dragon Ball reference, but I digress. Neuvillette to me is a must summon. He seems like so much fun, and it just seems like another type of Hu Tao character, but catalyst form, if that makes sense. So I'm pretty excited. I really want to play more with Neuvillette, but yeah, he looks so great. Now, I hope that I was able to convince you that Neuvillette is just so freaking crazy powerful. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you feel that Neuvillette is so crazy. Y'all, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm so blessed to have everybody who loves the content, so thank you so much. We're so close to partner. I can taste it. But anyways, that's gonna be it. Love you all to death, and as always, we'll catch you all in the next video. Please take care and be safe.